When Han Solo talks about the Force, he speaks about it much the way Harrison Ford talks about Star Wars. A little bit dismissive, not really on board with it, kind of aware of how people feel, but just thinks it's maybe a little bit hokey. It turns out Harrison Ford actually, it's partly an act, just as it is with Han Solo. He had something very important to contribute to the making of Solo, a Star Wars story.
Rolling!
I'm Anthony Bresnikan, and I wrote Entertainment Weekly's cover story about Solo, a Star Wars story, but also I've interviewed Harrison Ford several times, and we've talked in depth about Han Solo and his experience with Star Wars. It's always fun to talk to him, even though he sort of acts like it's not so much fun. He's got the curmudgeon thing down. But I found out in my reporting about this new standalone film that he actually had some important things to contribute. The movie stars Alden Ehrenreich as the younger version of the Galactic Smuggler, and Alden reached out to Harrison, wanted to meet with him. Some photos made their way around online of the two of them at lunch, but nobody really knows what they discussed. When I spoke with Harrison Ford back when The Force Awakens came out, I asked him, like, well, how do you feel about this young Han Solo movie that's in the works? And his response was very Harrison Ford, just, well, I think you should ask young Han Solo that. Of course, the actor had not yet been cast in that part, but I did get Harrison to say what he would tell this young actor taking on the part that made him a movie star. And Harrison said, I would suggest he watch the movies, talk to his director, and most importantly, make it his own. So he's ready to hand over the blaster, but when they had their meeting, Alden has tried to keep that a little bit quiet. Like he said Harrison gave him advice that said, it began with, tell everybody I told you everything you need to know, but that you can't reveal it to anyone. Kathy Kennedy, the president of Lucasfilm, who's known Harrison Ford going back to their Raiders of the Lost Ark days, she actually told me a little bit more about the history of Star Wars and what Harrison was able to impart to Alden. And Ron Howard also said he spoke with Harrison Ford when he took on directing duties and got some really important insights to the characters. So, you know, when Harrison says Han is as dumb as a stump and is a little bit dismissive of this space cowboy, he means it, but he also has a soft spot for him.